What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. There's a lot of really fun genres of videos that I really like to cover at this program, but my favorite genre of video is CNN getting wrecked absolutely and totally directly to their faces by the actual voters in this country that they claim to be in favor of. We like democracy, until democracy actually goes and screams in their face, "You're liars." And we know you're lying, and you know you're lying. And that is exactly what happened with CNN on election night for the Iowa caucuses this week, when they did a snap poll of Iowa caucus goers, and they asked if they were MAGA, and then they asked if they thought that Joe Biden was the legitimate president of the United States. And the results are a delicious, salty cup of steaming tea that goes sip, sip, sip directly into my mouth and burns CNN directly in the face. Watch CNN anchors try and hold back tears while they report that over 70% of Iowa caucus goers don't think that Joe Biden is the president of the United States. It's too good. Let's go.
We are sort of trying to take stock of what does this electorate look like in Iowa tonight. Now, these are early entrance poll results. These are people who arrived at the caucus site early. These numbers will change throughout the night as we do more interviews. But look at this. We asked folks, are you part of the MAGA movement? 53%, a majority of those that we've interviewed thus far say yes, they consider themselves part of the MAGA movement. 41% say no, they're not. We also asked folks, do you think Joe Biden legitimately won the 2020 election? 68%, more than two-thirds of those in these early entrance poll results showing up early to the caucus sites say no.
Look at the guy's face. It's so good. Oh, man. CNN so bitter and so wrecked and so destroyed on election night. And nearly 70% of early Iowa caucus goers saying, nope, Donald Trump's the president. Oh, the searing, seething, crying saltiness. You can tell that CNN was really angry tonight, that night, the night of Donald Trump's historic landslide victory in Iowa. Because they wouldn't even play his victory speech. Now, CNN went from a network that played Donald Trump's speeches wall to wall during the 2016 campaign. It was great for ratings. They would just let the campaign, they would just let Donald Trump speak wherever he was in the country. Donald Trump was just allowed to speak live on CNN. Okay. And then they changed that strategy real fast. Now they won't let Donald Trump speak. But this clip is just pure money. So after listening to all Iowa voters be like, nope, we don't think the 2020 election was fair. Then they had to broadcast Donald Trump's speech live and literally piss and bitch about it while it's going on, cutting the feed.
Baby girl, we're going to seal up the border. Because right now we have an invasion. We have an invasion of millions and millions of people that are coming into our country. I can't imagine why they think that's a good thing.
Donald Trump declaring victory with a historically strong showing in the Iowa caucuses. If these numbers hold, the biggest victory for a non-incumbent president in the modern era for this contest. A relatively subdued speech as these things go so far, although here he is right now under my voice. You hear him repeating his anti-immigrant rhetoric.
Jake Tapper. Why does Jake Tapper always sound like he's crying? Jake Tapper dated Monica Lewinsky. Did you know that? Jake Tapper got his start of his journalist career as a paid PR person on Capitol Hill for Democrats. So this is why this is always Jake Tapper's reaction to things like this. Like when Donald Trump roasted the CNN anchor, Caitlin Collins, for like 90 minutes straight. Absolute destruction. Caitlin Collins humiliated. Donald Trump turned the entire audience against her, called her a nasty woman on stage. And then Jake Tapper holding back tears, having to talk about it once again. I can't get enough of these clips.
Thanks, everyone.
We're looking there at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire. Tonight's CNN Town Hall, moderated by Caitlin Collins, the first of the 2024 presidential campaign, is now in the books. Good evening from New York.
Oh, from Washington, and it was an interesting night. Mr. Trump's first lie was told just seconds into the night with his false, familiar claim that the 2020 election was, quote, a rigged election. And the falsehoods kept coming fast and furious about the January 6th insurrection, about the threat to Vice President Pence, about Pence's ability to overturn the election, about COVID, about the economy, and more. He called a black law enforcement officer a thug. He said people here in Washington, D.C. at Chinatown don't speak English.
I shouldn't laugh, should I? Should I be laughing? It's just funny to watch Jake Tapper holding back tears. Oh, man. They don't know how to control the narrative anymore. Oliver Stone's one of the most legendary directors in American history, directed some of the biggest Hollywood hits ever. Oliver Stone was on Bill Maher's show just the other day. Maybe Oliver Stone voted in the Iowa primary, Iowa caucuses, because Oliver Stone was on Bill Maher's show saying, I see no evidence that Joe Biden actually won the 2020 election. Watch.
It's the law, the concept of authoritarian government that is really bothering me, and I think it bothers you. This
authoritarian, yes, of course.
Biden saying, well, you know, we've got to take the vaccine, you know, and you have.
Yes, that's one form of it. I would say the form that Trump is threatening us with is even worse, and
which is what?
Well, I mean, he doesn't
the whole
concede
thing.
elections. You know, the elections only count if we win theory of government.
Okay.
Well, come on, you know Trump he still has not conceded the election. He has not conceded. He does not honor the...
Okay, I mean, do you know for a fact that he lost? I'm just curious.
Okay. You're going to make me...
I just don't know all the facts because...
Well, I do. Is there a conspiracy theory you don't believe?
Oh, come on, Bill.
But Oliver...
You know I'm intelligent.
You know I'm intelligent. This is what the people were saying to CNN during the Snap poll before the Iowa caucuses. And this is what people have been saying to CNN for a very long time. Digging through the archives here, when CNN went out to Iowa to ask people about Donald Trump before the caucuses, I mean, way before the caucuses, this was in August, CNN traveled to Iowa, to their great credit, and spoke with people about Donald Trump, and the reactions were absolute gold. CNN visibly stunned into silence as Trump supporters shoot down regime psyops, shoved in their faces by CNN. Just historic moments here.
Family around the table don't watch and don't trust CNN. There is reverence for Ronald Reagan here. But listen.
The trust is gone.
Reagan's optimism replaced by Trump's grievances.
We got to find our own way to take care of ourselves.
Reagan's disdain of big government replaced by Trump's distrust of just about everything.
I think he thinks he was stolen from him.
Still questions about the 2020 election.
And I had a lot of people who agreed with him.
Criticism of the Trump prosecutions.
But nothing about that deal is the American way. I don't think.
And this.
If you think the United States should be supporting Ukraine in the fight against Putin, raise your hand.
You don't have to be that smart to connect the dots, right? And so is the war to cover up sins committed so you can cover your tracks? There's too much money that's been thrown over there.
You think all the NATO countries would do what Biden told them to do because he's trying to cover up some Hunter Biden business deal by...
Based.
It all depends on how Zelensky, how much dirt he has on Biden.
Yeah. Yes, they must watch our show. Yes,
that's out there.
No, because it's
not out there.
How do you trust when you know the government has shut down Facebook and shut down Twitter and told them to not show certain news stories?
A few days here makes clear Trump's grip is very strong.
Look at this one. This one's my favorite. It's a really short clip. Do you think Trump's an honest, trustworthy person?
Trump is an honest and trustworthy person?
Yes. Yes.
This is warm-up season.
CNN just stands there crying. So they go to like very white Christian Iowa, right? And ask people, and they all say, yeah, no, you're liars, and we don't trust you. And we like Donald Trump. And we think that Donald Trump has a lot of major grievances that deserve to be righted. And he was undirtied by you scum. So that's what the people in Iowa say. And so, you know, obviously CNN is trying to cherry pick. I mean, they straight up say, like, we went to places where they love Donald Trump and they love Ronald Reagan and so forth. But then CNN goes to black voters at a conference about like a conference for black voters, an urban culture, and ask the same questions. Like, this is the exact opposite of what they were asking in Iowa, like the population demographics of what they were asking in Iowa. And they got very similar responses. Oh my God.
Years back.
Woo! The last 2 years have been really tough.
The pandemic and inflation have hit Americans hard, increasing long-standing disparities in some communities. And African Americans want the president's attention.
As a middle-class black woman, I don't see the push for the black economic community like really exploding. I think the message is being delivered, but I don't think the message is being captured in the way that we want it to be captured.
Ladies and gentlemen, CNN went on to a all-black neighborhood in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and asked residents there what they thought of Joe Biden. And they got very, very similar responses. So what does that mean? Well, maybe that means there's some universality to all of this. Please enjoy CNN holding back tears as black voters from the must-win state of Wisconsin destroy Biden again and again and again.
People are wondering, what is he doing in terms of police accountability and criminal justice reform?
Lang also says the president better show up more.
People always want to see people actually paying attention, and sometimes that means being able to physically be here and engaged.
Black turnout soared here in the Obama years, but it dropped in 2016 and was flat in 2020.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you grade the Joe Biden presidency in terms of its impact on your life and your community?
A 4.
A 4.
Yeah, and I love Joe.
Devette Baker, though, sees a reason for optimism.
The alternative is the man whose name I try not to say.
Well, I'll say it. As we sit here today, the likely alternative is Donald Trump.
Right.
Would that be enough to motivate people, even if maybe they're a little on Biden?
I think so.
Joanna Brooks is one such voter. She owns a yoga studio just across the Milwaukee line in Glendale.
All right, y'all.
Like many we met in the city, Brooks says black voters get taken for granted.
Black people in general, I think, tend to be pretty loyal to the Democratic Party. And sometimes I wonder, just based on how that party has performed thus far for people of color, if we should continue to be.
But Brooks says that accountability exercise must wait until after 2024 because of constant Republican attacks on abortion rights and voting rights.
I grew up almost certain that my rights were guaranteed, right? I took it for granted. And now as I sit and watch the work of so many black folks during the civil rights movement, so many women who fought for women's rights, when I see all of their work slowly being undone, that was a wake-up call for me, for sure. You have to fight.
Eric Jones is no Trump fan, but he thinks it's foolish to bet on Trump motivating black turnout.
I get people saying they're not going to vote. That's my fear, that if they see those two and they're going to say, screw it, we're damned anyways.
We met Jones at the 5th anniversary of the Bronzeville Collective. Several local artists sell their goods here. It is a source of smiles and hope in a community often defined by poverty and a high incarceration rate.
When the factories and the manufacturing left, jobs left. When jobs leave and opportunities leave, then you have certain things that are domino effects, right?
Jones says the president should stop by and learn a lesson.
You bring opportunities, you bring jobs, you get votes, plain and simple.
For the president, it is the mood a year from now that matters most. But the mood today is bleak.
If you're Joe Biden and you want to be reelected, he'd have a problem today, right?
Yes, he will. He'll have a big problem.
Johnson's work could well help the president. But listen.
If it were just Biden and Trump, who would you vote for?
That's just a tough one.
A young man who says the country needs big change. Determined to boost Milwaukee's black turnout, yet not sure who gets his vote.
And just stunning, that young man there, I don't know who I'm going to vote for, a young black man in Milwaukee who's actually part of this activist community. Then you have the older black women answering the door, say, yeah, people died for my right to vote, but I'm not sure I'm going to vote because I'm so disaffected and disenchanted. And it matters. There's a year to fix it. But remember, 2 times in a row, Wisconsin alone, big battleground state, decided by about 20,000 votes. So it doesn't take many people staying home or going the other way to flip the state.
My favorite is this guy. I love that clip. My favorite is this guy who's like actually out there working for like the Democratic Party and a voter organization. And is like, I don't like Joe Biden. CNN really thought they had one here. They really thought they had like their Biden voter, their young Biden voter. And the guy's like, no. Give me Matumbo, right? Anybody? No, that's a meme. That's a meme. That's an older meme. You got to be seasoned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy to report that the salt flows from CNN. The salt is good for you. You should accept that sodium. We should be happy about it. Let it fill your cup and let it pour through your veins. Sodium is very good for your hydration. It's very good balancing in your body. And it's very good if you're dehydrated. So let the salt flow. The salt must flow. The salty army is here. Keep fighting. And it's your boy, Benny. I'm fighting right alongside you. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay based. See ya.